Hello and welcome to Friday's programme.
Coming up tonight. Police find a body in the search for Grace Keeling, who was swept out to sea at Withensea along with her mother a fortnight ago.
Newark MP Robert Jenrick dismisses calls for a by-election after becoming the most high-profile Tory to defect to reform.
Why the slick hairdo could become a hair don't amid concerns from stylists.
And the Brooklyn Brawler, fresh from victory in New York. We catch up with Sheffield's latest boxing world champion, Dalton Smith.
First tonight, a body has been found in the search for missing Grace Keeling. The 15-year-old from Sutton in Ashfield in North Nottinghamshire was swept into the sea at Withensea on the 2nd of January. Her mother and a passerby both died trying to save her.
Well, Humberside police say they believe a body found among the rocks on the beach at Withensea is that of the teenager. But efforts to recover her are continuing because of challenging conditions. Adam Fowler is in the Calendar newsroom for us. And Adam, it's such a sad story, this one, isn't it? What more can you tell us?
Well, it was heartbreaking news for everyone right at the beginning of the year when the news came that not one but 3 people had been swept into the sea off the East Yorkshire coast. Grace Keeling was swept into the water first, but was followed by her mother Sarah, who was 45, and passerby 67-year-old Mark Ratcliffe, who both died trying to save her. As you would expect, there was an extensive search and rescue operation involving the Coast Guard, Yorkshire Ambulance Service, RNLI, Humberside Police and Fire and Rescue Service, and the bodies of both Mark and Sarah were recovered on the same day they went into the water, the 2nd of January. The search for Grace continued the next day but was eventually called off due to the perilous weather and freezing cold temperatures. Now we find out that yesterday morning, 13 days since she first went missing, police have found a body that they believe belongs to the teenager.
But Adam, despite the body being discovered yesterday, it hasn't yet been recovered.
That's right, and one can only imagine how devastating that must be for the family. Humberside police say the body was discovered at about 8:30 a.m. on Thursday morning among the rocks on Withensea Beach. But in a statement, Detective Superintendent Simon Vickers said due to tide times and conditions, despite every effort, it was not possible to carry out a safe recovery before high tide. The location was secured overnight using specialist equipment and a cordon remains in place around the area. He goes on to say that officers and specialist teams have continued to explore every option, but again, due to high tide times and the location, the operation has been paused until it's safe to resume. Now, because of this, no formal identification has taken place yet. Police say they want to reassure the public that they're doing everything they can, and specialist officers have liaised with Grace's family to make them aware of what's going on. They're also urging the public to avoid the area and respect the family's need for consideration and privacy at this time.
Yes, of course. Adam Fowler in our newsroom, thank you.
Next tonight, Newark MP Robert Jenrick has dismissed calls for a by-election after defecting to Reform UK.
On a dramatic day yesterday, Mr Jenrick was first sacked by Conservative Party leader Kemi Badenoch for plotting to leave before being paraded by Reform leader Nigel Farage after the switch was confirmed.
Well, today, Mr Jenrick has been speaking about his decision, insisting he hasn't betrayed his constituents. Our political correspondent Fred Dimbleby will be bringing us more from Westminster shortly on what he's said. But first, Lewis Warner has spent the day in Newark finding out what voters make of it all.
This town knows what it means to withstand pressure. Newark Castle survived 3 Civil War sieges, remaining loyal to the royalist cause. Allegiances here once meant everything. Mark and Linda weren't shocked to hear about Robert Jenrick's defection, but think the people of Newark should have had a say.
Well, after having a good laugh, I thought it's really not surprising, because that certainly it meets his, I'm not going to call it beliefs, it meets his politics far better.
It's a bit bonkers in our system that people can change parties without there being a by-election.
The former Tory minister joined Reform UK yesterday after being sacked from the shadow cabinet when details of his plans to defect emerged. Newark is a town known for its antiques. Authenticity matters here, and people know what's genuine. David thinks Robert Jenrick has done the right thing.
Oh, so I've met him a couple of times, and he always comes across very friendly, and some of it might be for his own sort of career, but at the same time I think he does genuinely care about the voting base.
Do you think Robert Jenrick stands a better chance of representing the people of Newark now he's in Reform?
I do, yes, because I've got strong belief that Reform are probably going to be in power come the next election.
Emma has run her stall here for 7 years. She says she'll now vote for Robert Jenrick for the first time.
Just before December I went to see Robert over something that's personal to me, and he was fabulous, brilliant. He's resolved my problem.
So he's got your vote now, he's gone to Reform?
Yes, for sure.
Trading has taken place in this market square for centuries. Here, trust matters and reputations stick. Now, voters are weighing up their options.
I don't care about any of them, really.
So he's not enough to entice you to vote for Reform?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Can I ask, did you vote for Robert Jenrick before? Were you a Conservative voter?
Yeah. Before that, it was Labour. And now I'm fed up with the two of them.
So might you follow
Next
Robert
time
Jenrick and vote for Reform?
I would vote Reform anyway, but he'll make a big difference to him with the experience.
Well, he's supposed to represent the people, and all he's doing is looking after himself.
So can I ask, did you vote Conservative in the past? Did you vote for him?
No.
And you won't follow him to Reform?
No.
In a town built on trade and trust, voters here will decide whether this defection feels fair or like a deal done without them. Lewis Warner, ITV News, Newark.
Well, let's speak to Fred Dimbleby in Westminster now about this. Fred, this has been called a psychodrama, likened to an episode of the game show The Traitors. And today the central character has been given interviews for the first time. What's Robert Jenrick been saying?
Yeah, that's right. After the suspense, as you say, the drama, that shock announcement last night, we've been hearing reaction. You heard a lot in Lewis's piece there, but we have also heard from the man himself, Robert Jenrick, who's been speaking to ITV News. He says he wants to unite the right. He says the country is broken and only Reform can fix it. But Lewis mentioned there at the top the issue of a by-election. I just want to take you back to some words that Nigel Farage said back in 2022 when he was then the leader of UKIP. He was talking about potential Conservative defections, and he said to those Conservative defectors, "I can't have you sitting as a UKIP MP having been elected as a Conservative without you holding a by-election." Robert Jenrick was elected as a Conservative in Newark. He's now standing as a Reform MP. So we put it to him today why he won't call a by-election in that constituency.
The work that I do in the constituency continues, and I'll continue to fight for the constituency with vim and vigour, hold the Labour government to account. And I think most people in Newark care passionately about our country, want to see the back of the Labour government, and I hope they will understand that what I'm doing is putting party affiliation to one side to try and get the best result for everyone.
And apart from getting political aficionados like yourself exercise, Fred, why does this actually matter?
Yeah, well, look, there is a part of this that is about, you know, the personalities in politics, the backstabbing. Kemi Badenoch, the Conservative leader, came out today saying that Nigel Farage has done her spring cleaning for her. She's happy to have got rid of Robert Jenrick, she seems to say. But look, there is something that matters here, because I think it shows something more widely about our politics. Whether love him or loathe him, Robert Jenrick knew how to reach people online, which is the new place to reach people in politics. He had a following there. The fact that he has concluded effectively that the Conservatives are over and that Reform is the future is really significant, because it is yet more proof, if we needed it, that this insurgent right-wing party, Reform, is the party with momentum at the moment in politics. And that has major implications in the years to come.
Thank you, Fred. Yeah, certainly still more twists and turns to come, I'm sure.
This is Friday night's calendar. Thanks very much for being with us. Still to come tonight, we catch up with Evie Hodgson from Whitby, 5 years since her life-saving bone marrow transplant.
And now you see it, now you don't. Why low pressure dying away well to the west of us will still play a part in our weekend weather.
Now, a family from Bradford have made an emotional plea for more heart screening for young people after their daughter died unexpectedly from an undiagnosed cardiac problem.
Anya Wilson was seemingly fit and healthy, but shortly after seeing a GP because she'd experienced her heartbeat racing, she died without warning. She was just 19.
Now, Anya's parents have raised thousands of pounds to offer heart screening to hundreds of other young people in West Yorkshire. But they want the government to introduce the same screening nationwide and spare other families the heartache they've endured. John Hill reports.
Anya was an old soul. She wasn't your traditional kind of 19-year-old. Don't get me wrong, she liked to have fun with her friends, but she loved to crochet and knitting, reading books.
She was just not your typical teenager at all.
Yeah, incredible individual.
For Kev and Carly Wilson, the last months have been hard to bear, but they want others to learn from their tragedy. Last summer, their elder daughter Anya had seen doctors after she'd said her heart was racing up to a minute at a time. Anya was sent home with a 24-hour heart trace monitor, but she never lived to get the results of those tests.
Was tired, so we'd let her have a bit of a lie-in.
Well, that's what we'd assumed.
We'd assumed. Carly went into the bedroom to wake her, so, we need to get up now. And I was in the bedroom and I just heard the guttural scream. And I came running in and I knew exactly what had happened. And unfortunately, there was nothing we could do. We went through the process of calling 999, and yeah, it was incredibly difficult.
You go from getting out of the shower and getting ready to have a family day out, and then 2 hours later you're being asked which funeral director you want.
Every week in the UK, 12 young people die suddenly from a previously undiagnosed heart condition. Seemingly healthy youngsters are not routinely screened, but the calls for a government rethink are mounting, and a review is now underway.
80% of young sudden deaths have no symptoms whatsoever. So we have to do something proactive to identify these people at risk.
To fill this gap, Anya's family and well-wishers have raised £32,000 to offer heart screening to hundreds of local youngsters later this year. Following Anya's death, Kev and Carly have been tested and discovered they too have heart abnormalities. But they want to save as many other young people's lives as possible from deadly hidden heart issues.
The more people we can screen, the more impact we can have and find individuals that we'd never know. Every life is precious, but even more so the young, and this is the future of the country.
And of course, we're grateful to Kev and Carly Wilson for speaking to our reporter, John Hill there. Well, some more news from around the region, and police say historic remains found in Emley near Huddersfield have been identified as most of a human skeleton. The bones were discovered by someone clearing woodland off Kiln Lane on Wednesday afternoon. A specialist forensic team have been searching a section of cordoned off woodland. Experts are now carrying out tests to establish the person's gender.
The family of a South Yorkshire police constable who died on duty more than 30 years ago have been given an award recognising her service. Sandra Edwards was killed in a crash while on patrol in May 1995. The force has now handed the Elizabeth emblem to her family. The award honours the dedication and bravery of public servants who die in the line of duty.
Labour have retained control of York City Council after a narrow by-election victory overnight. Their candidate Anna Perrott held the Heworth seat by 495 more votes from Reform's UK's John Crispin Bailey. It means Labour keep their single-seat majority on the council.
Well, the ITV Evening News continues at 6:30 with plenty more on that story about Robert Jenrick's defection. With a look at that and what else is happening, here's Charlene White.
Coming up on the programme, the West Midlands police chief is to retire over his handling of the decision to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from a match against Aston Villa last year. Kemi Badenoch says Nigel Farage has done her spring cleaning for her following Robert Jenrick's defection to Reform UK. And we meet the Auchinleck Talbot player gearing up to face Celtic in the Scottish Cup this weekend. So join us for those stories and more from 6:30.
Thanks, Charlene. Now, Ian,
yes,
you are clearly quite the style icon, so I know you like to keep up with the latest trends, but there is one you should probably avoid. It's a hair-related trend.
Really?
Yes.
Ah, that's interesting, Emma. I'm glad you've mentioned that, because I do like to, jump on the revival of one particular hairstyle. You might want to think again, of course, because apparently the slick back look is enjoying a resurgence, thanks in part to some big-name celebs. But stylists in our region are warning it can come at a cost, as Hannah Ludlow reports.
Actor Erin Doherty collects her Golden Globe Award, wearing a hairstyle you might recognise. The slick back is having its moment. From celebrities to the everyday person, many are brushing up on their skills to achieve that sleek look. Hairdresser Jack Ricketson in Leeds says although the slick back has become more popular, it should be worn in moderation.
It's a really practical, quick and easy hairstyle for people to achieve, to make themselves feel put together really quickly. Also, things such as celebrity trends, red carpet trends and social media have such a big impact on things like that. Obviously, pulling your hair back with so much tension quite frequently can cause stress on the hair and the scalp, especially at the roots and around the hairline, or where the elastics are tied tightly in a certain area.
Content creator Abby Clemmings has been wearing the hairstyle for years, but began to notice it was damaging her hair.
I was noticing thinning around the edges of my hair. I was noticing changes in my curl pattern from it being stretched out all the time. I was noticing breakage where I typically place my bun. There was breakage around that area, breakage from the hairband, where the hairband sits, and things like that.
Experts say the slick back can cause traction alopecia, a type of hair loss caused by consistent pulling on hair follicles.
If you're wearing the same hairstyle and it's causing pain, sensitization, you're getting that ache around your scalp in some areas every single day, then you have to think twice about changing your hairstyle and releasing that tension. You find that people like ballerinas suffer from traction alopecia because they have to wear their hair slicked back. So anybody who has to wear their hair very, very tidy, very, very neat, very slicked back, those are the people that are more susceptible.
Abby is joining other lovers of the hairstyle in a slick back ban. Think dry January, but for your hair.
It kind of reassures you that you can go a chunk of time without doing the slick back styles, and then you'll learn alternatives. And so if I wanted my hair off my face now, I could pop a headband on, push it back, and my curls will be out of my face. I would avoid gels that dry down really hard, so then when you do come to taking down the ponytail or the whatever the style may be, then your hair is still flexible and malleable and isn't going to cause any breakage.
So it's all about holding back from the slick back to keep our hair as healthy as possible. Hannah Ludlow, ITV News.
Well, who knew, hey?
Who knew? I tell you what, I've learned something there. And when you do the late news tonight, you can try it.
Yes, I probably will. Well, next tonight, Sheffield's latest boxing world champion, Dalton Smith, says he now wants to headline a show at Hillsborough, the home of his beloved Sheffield Wednesday, after fulfilling a lifetime's ambition last Saturday night.
Yes, Dalton became the 7th world champion from the Steel City when he defeated Subriel Mateus in New York. And today, he was back at his gym in Sheffield, where Chris Dawkes caught up with him.
Yes, we're down here at the Steel City gym in Sheffield. It's a working gym, of course, so we've got a few fighters behind me now, just throwing a few punches as well. But one man who deserves a well-earned break from all that is the new WBC world champion, Dalton Smith. Dalton, what a ride you've been on the last week or so.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week, and I think we're just starting to come down a little bit now. But now, what a week, and you know, it's one I'm going to remember for the rest of my life, I think.
How does it feel to have that belt on your shoulder?
I think it's still sinking in. You know, I don't think it's actually at home yet, but you know, it's a dream I've worked hard for from, like I said, 6 years old. So to finally have it and achieve that, it's a special moment.
Well, let's bring in Grant, your trainer, but your dad as well. Grant, I mean, to be stood next to your son holding a world title belt, you must be so proud.
You can't describe how proud you are. It was like the emotion that night. It all got released. So we've done his job. We've done his job. He set out with a dream as a child. We have achieved it. We have achieved it. But he's achieved it. He's if he weren't who he is, he wouldn't have got what it is. So he's achieved it.
What's next for you then, Dalton?
A good rest.
Yeah,
you know, like you said, this fight it took months and months. Obviously, getting it scheduled, the camp started, then it got rescheduled again. So, a good rest. But like I said, I'll leave that to my team, and whatever's the biggest and the best options next. You know, we'll sit down and see.
Would Hillsborough be a dream for you as a Sheffield Wednesday supporter?
100%. You know, that's everyone's goal is to headline it in Vegas. Obviously, I've done my America trip now, and you know, to top the bill at Hillsborough. And I've said it for years, and I think it's a promise and something for me to give back to the club. You know, how much they've supported me over the years, and to get that ticked off, it'll be a dream come true.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us today. Both of you, congratulations, massive well done, and enjoy Hillsborough tomorrow. Dalton will be on the pitch at Hillsborough for that Sheffield Wednesday versus Portsmouth game. He deserves a few cheers.
Thanks very much, Chris, and well done to Dalton, of course. Now, back in 2020, here on Calendar, we covered the story of 8-year-old Evie Hodgson from Whitby, who desperately needed a bone marrow transplant.
Yes, she had a rare blood disorder which could have been life-threatening. After a worldwide search, Evie's family received the news that a donor had been found, and this was the moment in January 2021 that she received her life-saving stem cells.
There we go. Happening.
Well, now, exactly 5 years on, Evie is happy, healthy, and she's here with Mum Tina in the studio with us. Evie, happy transplant anniversary. I can't believe that's really you, because obviously you've changed, you've grown up a bit, haven't you, to say the least. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, are you feeling well and
yeah.
everything's normal?
Everything's perfect.
That's great news.
It's hard to believe, really, when you look back at some of those early pictures. And for those who don't know about all that you've been through, take us back, if you can, to when you first started to realise that something wasn't quite right, and what happened then?
Well, I think I had just got out of the shower and I was just like drying myself off, and I noticed I had like this pinprick red rash on me, and I just thought, oh, it might just like be something stupid. But like maybe a week later, I was bruising really bad.
Yes, yeah. And so we took her up to hospital and did some blood tests on Evie, and they kind of took us to a side room and said it's either leukemia or this really rare blood disorder. And
devastating news.
Neither was great, was it, to be fair? And when they said it was a plastic anemia, the first thing I said was, thank God it's not cancer. And the nurse said, well, it's actually just as bad, because the only cure is a bone marrow transplant. That's the only cure for a plastic anemia. So then the search started to find Evie a lifesaver.
And that wait must have been really difficult, because you just never know what's going to happen, when someone might come forward. It must have been really difficult.
Yeah, it was like quite tricky, but I was quite shielded from everything. Like I didn't really know truly how dangerous it was, and I did get a donor like quite quickly, but they did back out. So then we had to find a new one.
And you did find a new one, and of course we saw those pictures there the moment you got the stem cells. What do you think about people who actually sign up and become a donor?
I just have so much respect for them, and like they could be saving lives, so it's definitely worth doing.
Because it makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It does make a big difference.
And Tina, you must be so relieved, but also so proud of how far Evie's come.
I am proud of Evie because she's such a positive person. I mean, even like just meeting you guys, she's like bursting with energy, she's full of positivity, and I think that's what got us through it, to be honest. And even now, she does a lot of campaigning for Anthony Nolan and the stem cell charity, who find these lifesavers from nowhere. And if I can urge everyone to sign up to the stem cell register, please do. It's so easy, it's saving lives, and it's an incredible thing to do.
It certainly is. Now, Evie, I have to ask you, what's the future looking like for you? Because is there a bit of showbiz in your blood?
Well, not in my blood, it's kind of just me.
Yeah? A bit of showbiz?
Yeah, well, I love performing. I do dancing, acting and singing, musical theatre, everything I can do, really. I just like want to be on stage and perform to everyone. And I'd love to be in a movie or a series or just on telly or something like
Presenting Calendar, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Well,
Hey,
Emmerdale's
day.
next door as well, so you know
Yeah.
there's always that option as well if you fancy that. We could have a word maybe.
Brilliant. Well, look, great to see you looking so well. Stay with us, won't you? Because stay for the very end of the show, both of you. In the meantime, we're going to find out what the weather's doing for the weekend, because that's important, isn't it? Shall we ask Nick Miller? Here he is with a forecast. Over there.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Well, after a foggy start this morning, turned out to be a pretty nice afternoon for many of us, with some sunshine around, and we still have a bit of ice on some of our rivers, lakes and waterways. That's gradually melting, nothing particularly cold on the way this weekend. But not much in the way of sunshine either. Hope you made the most of it today. Plenty of cloud around. That cloud will deliver some rain at times. Looks to be Sunday, the wettest day of the weekend, and a risk of some fog, low cloud, particularly over the hills and around coastal spots. Low pressure to the west of us. Now, often when you see this, it's going to sweep through wind and rain. But as I animate this through the weekend, notice how it just dies away in the same position. But it does influence our weather. It does feed through a weak weather front during the day tomorrow. And then on Sunday, it looks as if that's going to reinvigorate and perhaps bring a lengthier spell of rain our way on Sunday, though it's still not set in stone, that detail, so we'll keep you updated. For now, though, into tonight, lowering cloud. That means hill fog developing through the Pennines, Peak District, North York Moors, and outbreaks of rain just spreading northwards as the night goes on. Temperatures probably staying a little too high for any concerns about frost. Sunrise tomorrow, 8:14, sunset 4:19. So into tomorrow then, a cloudy start, murky particularly over the hills, outbreaks of rain around, but then clearing northwards and I think turning drier for the afternoon, though we're going to keep a lot of cloud around. If there's going to be any brightness, it will be into the afternoon, and highs of around 7 or 8 degrees and a light breeze throughout this weekend. A greater chance for seeing outbreaks of rain for more of the day on Sunday, and the mainly cloudy story continuing well into next week.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Thanks for that, Nick. Well, of course, with a showbiz extraordinaire in the studio, it would only be right for her to say goodbye this evening. So take it away, Evie.
Camera one.
That's all from us at Calendar News. Charlene White is next.
Oh, brilliant.
Well
I've got a new co-presenter.
I know, I'm out. Laura's out, we're all out.
Have a great weekend. From us all, good night. Thanks for joining us. Thank you.